Survey to answer suspicions over decline in the Cicero parrot population. Chairman of the 2018 Reunion Committee assures the public reunion activities will be staged and police force faces understaffing issues. Welcome to the Channel 5 News. I am Idona Jean-Baptiste. Details of these and other stories coming up.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, galvanized and fenced pipe. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Welcome back. A survey of the country's national bird is to get underway next month as there is growing concern over the decline of that vulnerable population post-Hurricane Maria. Andrea Louis has that story.
Following the hurricane, there were very few confirmed sightings of the imperial Amazon or Cicero parrot, which is cause for concern for the Forestry Division. Forest Officer with responsibility for research and monitoring, Stephen Dura, says though the outlook is bleak, the division is hopeful for the full recovery of a healthy Cicero population.
We are very much concerned about the species. This is a bird that not many persons, not many of us among forestry staff has sighted this bird in the wild. And so we are very much concerned what has happened, the impact of Maria on this population. A number of sightings have been made. We've had a number of sightings in Eggleston, in Bells, Poncasse, Tarish Pit, Heights of Salisbury, Constant Spring, that's in the heights of Woodford Hill, and a few other areas. Three Rivers, I was told that a pair of birds was observed there as well. So when you do the count, it's less than 20 birds.
After the storm, only 2 Cicero parrots had been brought into the Parrot Conservation and Research Center for rehabilitation, one of which survived. Dura says there is a small chance that this bird will be released back into the wild as there may be moves to breed the imperial Amazon in captivity.
We have one bird in captivity that we rescued. Actually, it was 2 of them. One died. But what we noticed when those birds came in, they were starved and very dehydrated. So between that time and now, the number of birds that probably survived, if they were not able to find enough food, I can tell you, I think there are probably a lot of dead birds in the wild. And so we're praying that this is not the case. What we've done is to put him into a cage together with a female that was already there, and they're bonded and they're happy, very, very happy.
So how long will you keep them in captivity?
This bird? I suspect that this bird may not go back to the wild.
You hoping to reproduce her?
I suspect that this bird may stay with this female, which is a mature female. And so we are now planning on our conservation strategies for the parrots, and based on the surveys that we're going to do, this will indicate some of the things that we need to do where parrot conservation is concerned. And so if there is need for a captive breeding program, we already have at least 1 pair of birds. Okay. So I suspect that this bird may not go back to the wild.
The forest officer revealed that there are also plans for a feeding program for the birds as their food source has been compromised by the storm.
We're also looking to do a fresh fruits feeding program. We may be finding support to do that, and it's something that we have not done. We never did this in the past. We are hoping that it's something that we would do, and that the birds can, appreciate what we're doing for them, and that they will accept the fruit. We're not sure how well it's going to work. We will try our best. I guess there are already techniques engaged in doing this. I am sure we will get some support in how to design that program. But I know that the birds will survive. Give them a chance, they will fend for themselves. nature will provide for them. And so the people out there just have to understand this is the situation. It's very critical now. It's very serious. And the animals allow, if allow the opportunity for them to do what they have to do, they will be okay.
The population of the Cicero ranged from 350 to 500 before Hurricane Maria. Andrea Louis, Channel 5 News.
A list of activities for Reunion 2018 is to be released soon. Here's Andrea again with more.
That's according to Chairman of the Reunion Committee, Hubert Charles. Dominica will be celebrating its 40th anniversary of independence come 3rd November, and activities for the milestone year were to have kicked off on 1st January. However, due to the passage of Hurricane Maria last year, this too was severely impacted. Ambassador Charles says, notwithstanding the effect of Maria, the committee has met and is ironing out the final details on the calendar of activities for Reunion Year.
We've, of course, had to stop and reconsider exactly what we do in light of the priorities of the country and, of course, the limited resources that government now has access to. The interpretation that we have given is that the average Dominican, wants to be engaged in the celebration of the 40th anniversary of independence along lines that we have done in the past, and that includes reunion. Of course, the final details of the amended program will be released fairly soon. We have tried to link the activities very close to those that are already in existence, those that the Dominican population that we're accustomed to, that Carnival, Independence, and to make sure that there is a reunion flavor to those rather than discrete activities by the Reunion Committee.
In terms of budget, Charles opted not to disclose a figure, but confirmed that the committee would be working with reduced financial assistance.
I can assure you that, as is to be expected, we will not be speaking to the type of figures that we initially had in mind. Additionally, we are going to be dependent on our private sector. But even the private sector has been having a tough time coming out of, Maria. So we are not yet prepared to speak actual figures. But the reality is that you should expect that they will be downsized significantly.
Charles says that despite the impact of the hurricane, the response from Dominicans living overseas has been overwhelming, and they will play an important role in making Reunion Year a success.
I must tell you that they have kept faith with the committee. And up to the day before yesterday, I had a conversation with one of the diaspora associations, where basically saying, don't forget we are here. And we know what's going on, but we are going to come down, and we are with you. So we are hoping to excite the persons who normally come down, and excite those who would have come down and may be changing their mind because of the hurricane, to come not just to see your relatives and to see your country, but to be engaged in the whole rebuilding and rehabilitation process.
The theme for Reunion 2018 is My Love, My Home, My Dominica. Andrea Louis, Channel 5 News.
Living in a temporary housing shelter has been a far cry from their normal lifestyles, but displaced residents of Roseau and environs are forced to adjust as they await government help to rebuild. Doreen Romaine's only option at rebuilding is to return to an already vulnerable location at Pottersville, where she lived.
Well, before the hurricane, we have come out there. When my daughter heard about the hurricane, she told me, let us come out there with the children. So we come out there, and we end up going by a friend, and we end up going in the parish hall. That's the way we get going in the parish hall. Well, it was one thing. Everybody have to use everything. Everybody have to use bathroom. Same thing, just like there, just like there. So.
Okay. How long have you been living in this temporary shelter?
Around 2 weeks to 3 weeks now. You know, too long we come here.
How has that been for you and your daughter, your grandchildren?
Well, we just have to take life easy and take things one day at a time. Take things one day at a time. And then government promised to give us help to build our house for us because we don't work in, so actually they say they have to help us.
So you would have to go back to the same area in Portersville?
Yeah, I'll have to go back to the same area because there my mother died and lived for us. So there we have to go back.
How has that been like for you being here?
I have a little grandchild. I have to be bringing her to school every morning and going for her in the afternoon. And you can't leave her go down by the road, on the road she alone because the transport and them come in there so fast. You have to be careful. And does have there boy, he don't have good head. But he was walking on the road to Tuni. My daughter even had to call the police station for them to go and look for him. So they are not a safe place, especially when you have girls trained like that.
John Volney and his wife have been living in separate homes for several months. Since the September disaster, he too sought refuge at the Goodwill Parish Hall before Hurricane Maria, while his wife refused to leave their home at Gotter. Volney's wife would have spent the monster storm with the heavy winds and persistent rain beating against her body.
The Tuesday morning, they catch her under galvanized, but she didn't die. When the tree fall on the both house, both plywood house, but it didn't fall on directly straight. It had a space she could have stayed underneath it. She stayed there for the time until Tuesday morning. The Tuesday morning they come and they move her in a little rescue house next door. And when I come down the Tuesday morning, she stayed up there by the rescue, and the Wednesday morning we go down to Parish Hall.
So where's your wife now?
She's at Stockton.
Okay, so she's by her daughter and you're here. How has it been for you?
Well, it has not been so bad for me, nah? It's very good. But it's just the coolness in the night and the day.
His house was wiped out during the September disaster.
All gone.
Okay.
Everything gone.
But the land, is it
the land, no, it cannot build again. It's not good. The river, only river come down. The river itself come down and take the whole place. So it haven't got a place to build again.
A Visbet minister and her 4 children had to run for their lives to escape Maria's grasp.
I would say that Christ was on board that ship, he was a hero, but then he ministered to all of us that not one shall be slain. We're going to survive this together. Where there is life, there is hope. I lost everything. My children had everything in time for school, laptop, I prepared for them. One in grade 6, she had laptop, she had printer, and everything gone. She's in grade 6 now. It was a struggle.
Bed Minister is optimistic, however, about the adjustment despite her struggles.
Things will get better, little by little, because as you can see, not too long when we arrive, I just starting to accumulate little money to buy carpets as fans, and so I'm waiting for certain things to build up, to set up there. I bought the curtains and so already. What I would say with the adjustment, it's okay. Back to the parish hall, when you're there, there's no security, no privacy. Your things just spread out there. If you have someone to watch it for you, like my phone, they stole my phone after I bought it the week in December, so to talk to my daughter, so they just stole my phone and stuff like that. So over there was no privacy and security. Your things just there, and people just like, not, I wouldn't say, God knows who stole it, but what I'm saying is, compared to here, it's completely different. It's like when you lock your place, your things are there, you can go 100 miles and come back, your things are there. That's what I have to say. And the bathing, it's a little much, it's of a better quality, because what I'm saying is, there were only one bathroom outside by the parish hall where we used to bathe, one by turns. Just one open bathroom, as we, the people, when we moved in there, that was the Monday, we had to take stuff like curtains and to make a little privacy for when you're bathing.
You're watching Channel 5 News. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after the break.
Do you need more cash for that home improvement? Then come to Fast Cash, where we give you more. At Fast Cash, our customers get more funds and more time to repay. But wait, can't come to us? We'll come to you, and our mobile officer will get you on your way. Small businesses, consumers, and taxi owners. Fast Cash has more for everyone. Simply call or visit any of our locations for more. Smarter, faster, better. Fast Cash. Terms and conditions apply.
If you're HIV positive or have an STI, having unprotected sex with multiple partners puts them in grave danger. You will expose every partner and their present and future partners to HIV or another STI. Use a condom every time you have sex. You can live a productive life even if diagnosed with HIV. Remember, early detection is key to your survival. Be responsible, protect yourself and others. Help stop the spread of HIV and other STIs.
Thanks for staying with us. Police Chief Daniel Carbon said he's operating with an understaffed police force while he is trying to resolve uncomfortable accommodation for officers. Carbon reminded the police officers of the challenges in the presence of the Minister and Permanent Secretary for the Ministry of Justice, Immigration and National Security at a police awards ceremony on Friday.
We have a C2 police. And take in consideration when you're having your good time tonight, remember, I have a force approaching 40-something vacancies. And so the numbers is affecting human resource. And so that is where the unity must come. The courage, the understanding, the patience. The police force as a unit and we officers individually will never be happy if the public is not happy with us. If the private sector and DAIC are not happy.
Carbon said he has made attempts to have reconstruction plans started promptly since Hurricane Maria last September.
I've been in several consultations with government, particularly cabinet, to see how quick we can refurbish and renovate and build new police stations, new structures.
He explained that especially Marigot and Cassie Bruce police officers were in an unpleasant situation.
Marigot, government is spending heavily. 3 separate buildings. We had to evacuate the police from Marigot because the entire building, I would say, it's gone. And so we had to have proper accommodation for the police. And in Cassie Bruce, for the better part of 5 months, they've been under a 1-bedroom structure, what used to be a kitchen for the Cassie Bruce school, primary school at that. And they body patients, and they are now in a rented building, better accommodation.
In related news, designs are being developed for an up-to-date police headquarters and new accommodation for police officers in Roseau. The Minister for Justice, Reverend Blackmore, reassured the officers of government's plans to improve their standard of living and work when he attended a ceremony organized by the Police Welfare Association.
We have already started putting in place the plans in order to make your accommodation more comfortable. The design stage for a new building, a free storage building, opposite the police station is in a very advanced stage to house approximately 200 police officers. It will be self-contained apartments, wonderful, beautiful, and the best. Because by law, the state has an obligation to provide accommodation for police officers.
Blackmore explained that the existing police headquarters would be replaced with a modern-looking building.
Where we are standing there, the template by way of a design has already been established and developed for a new design for new offices. So once we are finished addressing the new structure on the other side, this area where we are standing, this building will be demolished and to build something that is consistent with time. And I think if we can do that and to provide a more conducive environment for it to operate, you, therefore, have to continue to develop the right spirit. It's not so.
And the business community has been challenged to take stock of their contribution to the effects of climate change and be smart in its response. The call came from Head of Operations of the Caribbean Association of Industry and Commerce, CAIC, during a recent visit. The private sector was advised to be more proactive in the fight against climate change, as it too adds to the climate change phenomenon.
The private sector in the Caribbean, they will take long, and unless there's money and what's in it for me directly, it ain't happening. So now that, and as I said in my little remarks, Mother Nature said, hey, look, you got to make this happen. So don't leave the environment and the climate to the environmentalists and the government. We now need to take it into our hands because we're actually contributing to the demise. We're actually treating with and consuming the depleting natural resource. So we've got to take steps that change the entire history, the business culture, the way that we do business to add value now rather than just continue with the consumption patterns that we have created.
On the rebuilding of Dominica post-Hurricane Maria, Colessa urged the business community and the wider public to adhere to best practices during the reconstruction process.
The rebuilding of Dominica has to be with some level of not just intelligence or business acumen. It has to have a level of even emotional intelligence to it. And what I mean by that, we cannot just rebuild the same things that we had. We cannot continue importing the same inferior goods, and I make no apology for my statement. It is strong. We've got to now get into value orientation. That's where our challenge is. Our challenge is with us, not only the business community, but even the consumer. Do we take, and I will use the example, do we buy 28 gauge, which is of roofing material? Do we buy even 26 gauge? Oh, that's better than 28. Or do you buy the actual standard for this region of 24 gauge roofing material with hurricane straps? And I make no apology for the people who may say that they have already brought this stock in. Well, send it right back out and do not use it. And the consumer has to demand value, right? Do not rebuild in the same place that something once stood. And do business the same way.
The CAIC representative was speaking at a ceremony which marked Dominica's signing onto the Arise network last week. That's news. Your sports highlights next with Kenny Williams.
M&J Covering is the producer of designed galvanized and galvalume in Dominica. They design to your specifications, color and length, 4 styles of galvanized and galvalume pre-painted roofing sheets as requested, and supply all your galvalume accessories. M&J Covering helps you control spending and reduce waste. At M&J Covering, they are also equipped to build your roof to precise standards anywhere on island. So come to M&J Covering at 1 Mile in Portsmouth or call 445-5001 275-5003 today.
First up in sports, Windward's Volcanoes went on to win their first championship since 2013 when they dethroned Barbados Pride by 3 wickets to claim their third Super 50 Cup title on Saturday. Playing at Coolidge Cricket Grounds in Antigua, Pride won the toss and elected to bat first and scored 232 for the loss of 9 wickets. Jonathan Carter was Barbados' most destructive batsman, smashing 8 fours and 1 6 to finish on 80. His closest supporting batsman was Royston Chase with a well-deserved 44. Leading wicket taker in the tournament, Shane Shillingford, added 2 more wickets to his tally, as well as Obed McCoy and Larry Edwards. In reply, Volcanoes proved the old saying that cricket is a game of glorious uncertainties when they secured a come-from-behind win in the tournament. Volcanoes had 3 consecutive losses in the start of the league, but won when it mattered most to finish on top. Set 233 to win, Volcanoes appeased their thirst for victory to score 236 for the loss of 7 wickets. Ronald Cato put on a man-of-the-match deserving performance with 54 to lift the score. Kavem Hodge added further resistance at the crease with 39 and Kyle Mayers 32, but it was this year's under-19 leading run scorer Alec Athanas and skipper Shane Shillingford who brought it home for Volcanoes in a nail-biting finish with 23 not out and 7 not out respectively. However, Barbados did not go down without a fight, with 3 wickets for 38 runs from Dominic Drakes. Next up, Kohath Barron claimed second victory for the year in the 3rd local cycling race on Sunday. 15-year-old Barron crossed the finish line in 1 hour and 39 minutes in a race from Woodbridge Bay to Caneville Airport and back 7 times. He was followed by Ellison Roudette and Levi Barron. Renowned national cyclist Bram Sanderson finished 4th. Meantime, Sunday's first-place finisher noted the drafting technique helped him win the race. Drafting is when cyclists rotate through a line, taking turns riding up front before peeling off and latching onto the back. Wind resistance can be a major disadvantage during the race, so when they draft by tucking in close behind another rider, the athlete uses less energy, which could result in up to a 27% reduction in wind resistance.
I'm feeling pretty good right now, all thanks to God. He always comes first. Without him, I wouldn't be here and I wouldn't be able to do what I do now. Well, the strategy I use today is to draft. When you draft, you save a lot of energy, and that kind of race, that's you're looking for drafting. At the end of the race, I started to cramp, and I saw Kilibit closing into me, and I got a little scared, but I still managed to keep the pace.
Meanwhile, 3rd place Levi Barron seemed to not have been pleased with the outcome of the race, noting what he believes were unfair tactics used by Bram Sanderson.
On the last round, just by the Coast Guard base, Koaf ended up going, so we knew we were going to win a sprint finish. So when Koaf went, Bram and I were 2nd and 3rd. So when I stood up to go, Bram came right next to me and he jammed me with his shoulders, tried to throw me down. But I didn't fall. So he came back again and hit me again with his shoulders. So then Ellison came 2nd, and I just had to settle for 3rd.
In response to the accusation made by Levi Barron, Sanderson says he inadvertently bounced his competitor during the race.
Koaf was behind his father drafting. I was behind Koaf drafting. And as soon as Koaf took a turn, his father pulled to the side. I followed Koaf wheel. His father tried to cut in between me and Koaf because I was right there on the wheel. Apparently I'm a bit stronger than him, so he felt like I bounced him. So at that time, his son accelerated because he was going back and forth saying, "What are you doing?" So I'm like, so I keep riding, and then as soon as I try to accelerate, my foot fly off the pedals, and then Kilibit attacked, and then his father attacked. I just took my time on coming because I knew I couldn't do nothing again. Once my bicycle gave me trouble.
Pearl Luke was the only female rider in the competition, while Ajanaya Kazemi was the only mountain biker. The next local race is carded for March 4 from Woodbridge Bay to Layu and back, and is in preparation for the 2018 OECA Cycling Championship, which is scheduled for Dominica later this year. And on the local cricket scene, Najiko Northern Stars defeated Dubla United Stars by 67 runs in the only match played in the Dominica Cricket Association's 50 overs aside competition on Sunday. Najiko was sent into bat and was bowled out for 181 in 30.2 overs at Benjamin's Park. Oscar George helped set up the win for his team with a well-deserved 53. John Fabian added 29 and Jason Lamore 22 to complete the onslaught. R. Henry went through Najiko's batting lineup to take 4 for 40. Ray Kazemi took 2 for 20 and Frederick 2 for 36. Set 182 for victory, Dubla fell short and was bowled out for 114 in 22.1 overs. Ray Kazemi was the only batsman of note with 37. Damian Dumas scored 19 while Odiama Honore chipped in with 18. Jason Lamore was the pick of the bowlers for Najiko with 5 wickets for 20 runs. Vincent Luis took 2 for 27 and Jed Joseph 1 for 34. That's all the sporting highlights for now. I am Kenny Williams. Join us next time.
To end the news, the headlines again. Survey to answer suspicions over decline in the Cicero parrot population. Chairman of Reunion 2018 Committee assures the public reunion activities will be staged and police force faces understaffing issues. Feel free to contact us at news@marpin2k4.com. You can also access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Idona Jean Baptiste. Thanks for watching. Join us again tomorrow.